If you are watching me on YouTube, make sure you subscribe, rate, review, ask a question, leave a comment. I see it all. I see it all. Ask a question, leave a comment, and turn on your alerts because you never know when I am going to fire up the golden microphone and drop a hard-hitting I Am Rapaport stereo podcast. Boom! Have no fear. The I Am Rapaport stereo podcast is here. Biggity boom. Have no fear. The I Am Rapaport stereo podcast is in the place to be. The French freak, Victor Wembanyama, is out for the season. Concerns, big concerns. Luka and LeBron. LeBron and Luka. Is this going to work out? And a horrible, horrible, horrible scene as the Bibas family, Ariel and Kafir, were returned to Israel in caskets. Devastating day, but the podcast must go on. Miles Jordan, a.k.a. the Bleach Brothers, a.k.a. the Dust Brothers, start this museum quality, hard-hitting, fully disruptive, very honest I Am Rapaport stereo podcast off with something real nice, something real loud, but most importantly, started off with something real proper. It's I Am Rapaport stereo podcast. Liggity, let's go.
I Am Rapaport podcast.
Boom. Have no fear, the I Am Rapaport stereo podcast is here. Higgity, have no fear. The Iggity I Am Rapaport stereo podcast is in the place to be. Welcome to the Iron Dome of Disruption. Welcome to the Ziggity Zone of Disruption. My name is Michael Rapaport, a.k.a. the Inflamed Ashkenazi, a.k.a. the Sultan of Sniff, a.k.a. the Raging Bullshitter, a.k.a. the Gringo Mandingo, a.k.a. Mr. New York. You are now rocking with the very, very best. My name is Michael Rapaport. Welcome to the Iron Dome of Disruption, the Ziggity Zone of Disruption. This is the I Am Rapaport stereo podcast. Man, there's a lot to discuss, a lot to break down. NBA is going into sprint mode with the NBA. I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about the French freak. The freak from France, Victor Wembanyama, is out for the rest of the season with an injury. I'm going to talk about this gold medal, USA gold medal documentary on Netflix. I am going to talk about Anthony Edwards, to love him, to hate him, but you have to respect him because he is just who he is. There is a hilarious bugged out clip of him with Barack Obama, which is just like, yo, this dude is himself. And whether you like it, don't like it, he is himself. Obviously, he's only 23 years old, so he's a kid, but he is a piece of work. But I must discuss what's happened in the last few hours. The hostages, the babies, Ariel, Kafir, were returned to Israel, and Oped, an 83-year-old man, I believe he was 83, he might have turned to 84, were returned after 500 plus days after being stolen on October 7th, 2023. And inevitably, as much as we prayed, as much as we resisted, as much as we fought, the sign or lack of signs, I feel like everybody knew this moment was happening with the Bibas children and their mother, and of course their father was released a couple of weeks ago alive. Unfortunately, two beautiful baby boys were killed in captivity. And like I said, I feel like the writing was on the wall because they were not returned, they were not rescued, and They had an opportunity to be returned and to be rescued, and they should have never been taken in the first place. This whole idea of returned, freed, rescued, bring them home. These people, none of these people that were taken, stolen, kidnapped on October 7th should have been stolen or kidnapped in the first place. The animals of Hamas, the terrorists, they knew that these were prized possessions to them. The sentiment and the outcry for the Bibas family who were taken on videotape. They videotaped themselves. They videotaped themselves stealing this entire family proudly. They proudly videotaped themselves. And we've all seen these videotapes. And I want to remind everybody that in the videotapes, you don't hear anything about occupation. You don't hear anything about 1948. You don't hear anything about apartheid. You don't hear anything about rivers to the sea. I saw that entire 47-minute clip of footage. You all have seen blips, blabs, minutes here, maybe the 47 minutes yourself. During those 47 minutes, you never hear them mention any of these words, from the river to the sea, free, free Palestine, 1948. What you see is them joyfully murdering in cold blood mothers, fathers, women, children, babies. You see them slaughtering children and then coming out and drinking the mother's soda from the fridge in front of the children whose father they just slaughtered. You see them celebrating as they decapitate bodies. You see them celebrating as they drag, mutilate, murder, torture, torment Jew after Jew and Israeli citizen after Israeli citizen, and never ever get it twisted. It wasn't just Jews. It was Thais. It's Americans. It was Muslims, Bedouins. And if you think for a second it's just about the Jews, wake the f up. It's not just about the Jews. Listen to these pieces of shit. Listen to them when they tell you if you're gay, black, LGBTQ, non-Jewish, Christian, anything but radical jihadist, you can be hit. You will be next. The Jews are the appetizer on the meal. They want a global takeover. If you are not a radical jihadist, I don't need to go to the list of what you can be. If you're not a radical jihadist, they say it. Listen to them when they tell you. They're coming for you. I don't care what you are, what you think, what watermelon you post, your keffiyeh scarf and your this, that, and the third. They will come for you. And when they come for you, they're not coming gently. They're coming correct to kill you, just like they say. But in that 47 minutes of videotape, it's shocking to see them take the Bibas family. They beat the father as he was being taken across the line into hell. Gaza is hell. Gaza is a dump. Gaza is a rotten, infected scum hole. It is hell with a bunch of demons. You see those zombie movies? These are radical, jihadist, sick, radical, sick demons, zombies. Radical, jihadist, zombie. The stage was set for the handover of the 4 bodies, the 4 innocent people that were stolen. And the people came out. In Gaza, they don't go to the zoo. They don't go for a jog. They don't play catch. They don't play soccer. They don't do daddy and me, mama and me. They don't do the wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round. That's not what you do with your children in Gaza. They don't have nursery songs. They raise them to be radical, sick animals. And the dads proudly brought out their sons and their daughters, smiling. Like, I saw these photos as the zombies brought out their children. It reminded me of the Thanksgiving Day parade. That's what it was It was like the Thanksgiving Day Parade, the Macy's Day Parade, the spectacle, this sick, demented zombie carnival. They brought out their kids. The music was playing. They play music for the release of babies. They play music for the release of an 83-year-old hostage who couldn't have tried to do more for you mother. This 83-year-old man that they stole couldn't have tried to do more. The salt of the earth. They kidnapped, and you don't even kidnap correctly, you dogs. You killed the best of the best. And they came out in droves, and they sang, and they celebrated, and they paraded, and they got their brand new fresh signs. There must be a great printer in Gaza. Every single hostage release, there's brand new fresh signs. They come out there and they were in a fresh 4x4 car, clean, nice. They got printers, car wash. They got all the things that you don't need out there. Parades for hostages that are killed. They got the sick lunatic, a rice lady throwing rice on these Hamas animals. They had these little models saying that these hostages, they were killed. They called them soldiers. Some of them call them, they're still saying they're IDF. They say they were killed by USA bombs. They were killed by the United States bombs. It's the United States. It's Netanyahu. But on October 7th, you filmed yourself. On October 7th, you were proud. We've all heard that animal call his dad and say, Dad, Mom, I killed 10 Zionists. So why at the end of the day you don't take responsibility? Yes, we killed the Bibas family. Yes, we killed all these people. Why don't you do that? You did that on October 7th, scumbags. Take the risk. You should be proud of yourselves. You were bred to do this. You should be proud of yourself. Don't point fingers. Take pride in it. Take pride in what you did. What did you think was going to happen when you take a 9-month-old baby? What did you think was going to happen when you take little children? You think they're going to make it out? And then you want to blame USA? You want to blame Netanyahu? You blame yourselves, you dogs, you. Blame yourselves. And the Red Cross allegedly did not want to participate in it. And the Red Cross, who literally, make sure you don't forget for one day, the Red Cross, the World Food Kitchen, Save the Children, all these big, hotshot charities, the Red Cross hasn't treated, hasn't seen, hasn't fed one hostage, not a baby, not Shlomo Mansour, 86 years old. None of them haven't touched, haven't treated the Red Cross, the World Kitchen, World Food Kitchen. You got terrorists working for you. You're in a terrorist-ran haven, and you're blaming Israel when things happen. Demons, cult of death, piss, nothings. And people are upset. You're so upset by Elon Musk. You're so upset by Trump saying this. You're so upset about LGBTQ rights. People are so upset. There's so many things to be, whether it's Trump, whether it's Biden, whether it's this center, that center, airplanes crashing, LGBTQ, Black Lives Matter. If you have spoken out about Elon Musk, Trump, LGBTQ, floods, and you didn't speak out on the fact that 2 babies were returned from a today, don't say a word. Do not say a word going forward. If you were so offended to your core by Elon Musk, if you're so offended and scared of Donald Trump, if you're so offended about anything If you're one of these people who gets offended and you don't say anything about what you saw today as these animals release the Bibas family, don't say a word. And these celebrities, the actors, the musicians, the Mark Ruffalos, the Dua Lipas, the Guy Pearce, you support these people, Mahershala Ali, with your pins and your free Gaza this and free Gaza that. You got nothing to say now? You got nothing to say today? All of you. You TikTok scammers, you Instagram scammers, you Twitter scammers with your watermelons and all this, and your Venmo in there. Fake charities. These Hamas terrorists, they steal from the Red Cross. They steal from World Food Kitchen. They steal from Save the Children. They steal from the UN. They steal from UNRWA. And you dumb on social media think your little charities where you're raising $11,000 is getting to the people of Gaza? You actually think I'm doing a fundraiser for so-and-so in Palestine. They steal from the International Red Cross, World Food Kitchen. They steal everything. You think your $11,000 that you're probably stealing also gets to the people? And every celebrity where your thoughts, your sentiments, and if you're stupid enough to give these people your money, you saw where your money went today. You saw where your money went today. I hope you like where your money went. Brand new signs in Arabic, Hebrew, and English. Blaming everybody but themselves. I hope you're happy where your money went. You saw it. Keep enabling these animals. And throughout this 500 plus days, there hasn't been one hero. There hasn't been one person in that hellhole who has stepped up. Where's the Schindler? Where's the humanity in that place? Where are the tears? You saw them out there today as the Red Cross took the bodies, the 4 bodies. Did you see anybody crying? Did you see anybody going, no, no, no? Like you saw when Trump got elected? Like you see in any other civilized country for anything? Did you see one tear today? No, you didn't see one tear when they returned the hostages. They don't have tears over there in Gaza. Did you see one person go, oh my gosh, why is this happening? No, you see them celebrating. You see the children celebrating because their fathers celebrated and their grandfathers celebrated. You see them smiling. You see them on the stage. You see them looking up to the Hamas guerrillas, covering their faces. And rest assured, those Hamas soldiers that are out there with their uniforms and their headbands and crystal, they don't fight like that. They fight in doctors' outfits, civilian outfits, doctors' overcoats, hoodies, flip-flops. You don't see them when they're out on the battlefield attacking the IDF wearing their hot shot, clean as a whistle uniforms, do you? No, they only do that for the show. They only do that for the gram. Talk about doing it for the gram. Hamas does it for the gram. Big parades. They got their brand new, they got laundry machines over there, dry cleaning, printers for the parades. But other than that, there's no food, we're victims, this, that, and the third. I know I'm ranting like a lunatic today. I feel like a lunatic today. And I know a lot of other people, Jewish people, righteous people, feel like they're going crazy today. And they feel like the dark side is pulling them in. I understand it. I can understand how what we saw and what we've been through for the last 500 days and the lack of compassion and the celebration and the elation and the misinformation from CNN, the New York Times. The New York Times is just a brand. Shut that place down. Shut it down. It's like, remember when Reebok was at its height? It was like a great brand, and then all of a sudden it was piss. That's the New York Times. The New York Times, it's rotten to the core. It's just a brand. It's rotten. It's infected. It's corroded to the core. BBC, CNN. How many fuck-ups are you going to make, CNN? How many mistakes are you going to make? How many miswordings are you going to do, CNN? I spoke to a few people and DM'd, talked, text, and some of the purest of the pure people that I know have been pushed to the brink. And all I could say is we must shine our light. It is imperative. And I know this will pass. This will pass. We must shine our beautiful light. We have to. We can't go into the dark swamp, piss, infected, rotten to the core, infected swamp. But it's tempting. It is tempting. Seeing the celebration, seeing the lack of compassion from the animals, knowing that Kafir Bibas was taken with his parents and his brother and released for 51. These aren't just terrorists. These aren't just rock throwers. These are cold-blooded killers that are being released. And I try to figure out why, how did we get here? And when you say from the river to the sea, when you say this Zionist regime and Zionism is evil and Israel is this and all these terrible things, and you dehumanize an entire group of people who are in Israel, Jews predominantly, but if you're in Israel, if you're Zionist, if you're not radical jihadist, these people have got it in their head that we don't have the right to exist. Israel doesn't have the right to be there, and the people in Israel or who support Israel don't have the right to exist. They're fleas, they're cockroaches. So when you go into people's homes on October 7th and do what you did, and you take people on October 7th and do what you did, and when you sit there and celebrate as a parade of these dead people are released and no one sheds a tear, no one asks a question, it's understandable because everyone there thinks that if you are in Israel, if you are Zionist, if you are Jewish, you don't have a right to live or exist. It's far out. It's so whacked out. And the people go, well, there must be a reason. How did these people get to this? They've been this way. This didn't just happen. They've been this way. 10 hours after Israel was conceived, after it was announced as a state. Never, ever forget that 10 hours after Israel was announced as a state, they attacked. And they've been attacking ever since. They've been attacking ever since. They've been disregarding Jews, disregarding Zionists, disregarding anything that has to do with Israel ever since. They don't want us alive. They don't want us to exist. We're bugs. We're mosquitoes to these sick animals. But we must continue to find a way to go work out like my man J-Dub did, to pray, to rap tefillin, to breathe, to do yoga, to do anything, to continue to shine our light. We have no choice but to shine our light. Be mad, be angry, be offended, be demoralized, but we have to get off the mat. And we have to keep going. We have to keep fighting. We have to keep shining. We have to keep creating. We have to keep procreating. We must. And we're still in it. I get asked a lot of times by people, how has this changed you? What's going to happen? That's TBD. I don't know how this has changed me. I know I'm not the same person that I was since October 7th. And it's just a smidge what I've been through. It's a smidge. The heartbreak, the devastation, the life-changing situations, the trauma, the PTSD, the experiences that people have gone through in Israel and their families and their friends and their survivors and so forth and so on. So many people have been affected by this. So many people have been affected since October 7th. And right now, there's still 69 hostages. 69 hostages. 5 Americans. 1 who's alive. Edon Alexander from New Jersey. How dare you, mother think it's okay to have an American citizen? And you New Yorkers who don't say anything. You people from the tri-state area who haven't said anything. A New Jersey kid. He's alive. Is in Gaza right now. 5 Americans, 1 born in New York City. Omer Nutra. 5 Americans are still in Gaza. 69 hostages are still in Gaza. And I really hope all you people that donated to these animals, I hope you're getting bang for your buck. I hope you loved what you saw today. I hope that you love what you have seen. I really hope you're proud of where your money and your support went. You saw it, and you keep seeing it, and you're going to see it again and again and again. Anyway, bad news for the NBA. The French freak, Victor Wembanyama, Wemby, the freak of France, 7 foot, who knows what, 207 pounds, is out for the season. He has some sort of blood clot in his shoulder, which you can't scoff at. You can't take those lightly. I was thinking immediately of Chris Bosh. I was thinking immediately of a friend's father who had a blood clot and how serious they are. I was thinking of my own health. Got to be so careful. So hopefully Victor Wembanyama gets back on the court soon. They said he's done for the season. I really hope that it's nothing career ending, because when you start, knees, hips, fingers, those are all like serious, but blood clots, that's a different level of serious. That's beyond basketball injury. So we hope that the French freak Wemby returns. Luka's out there with LeBron. They don't know what they're doing yet. My man Bazooka looking sloppy on the yard, but they'll figure it out. I don't know how that's going to work out long term. I don't think anybody knows how it's going to work out. I don't think it has to do necessarily with Luka, not playing in a while. Obviously, that's a part of it. He's definitely getting himself back in shape. I think he's still in shock, but I really feel like LeBron and him, we don't know how long LeBron James is going to continue to play, but they just are too similar. They need that rock in their hands, and the game they played versus LaMelo Ball and the Charlotte Hornets wasn't looking good. They got a couple of more games that should be easy wins, but they might be very, very easy losses for the Lakers. Shout out to LaVar Ball, LaMelo Ball, Jello Ball, big rap star, and Lonzo Ball, their dad, for some reason, I don't know what it is, but immediately I thought about blood clot also. LaVar Ball had to get a foot amputated out of nowhere, which is terrible. Terrible. So thinking about him and his health, because even though I've broken his chops, obviously I've always ended it with the fact that he must be a great dad, because he's been married and he has these 3 kids that adore him, and it ain't easy being a parent. And he has 3 miracles that he made, 2 of which are in the NBA. The third one I think should be in the NBA, but somehow, some way, he's made himself into one of the biggest rap stars out there right now. Luka and LeBron, LeBron and Luka. We're going to see how that plays out. And then there's a documentary on Netflix. I think it's called Heart of Gold or Gold Heart or something. You'll find it's very easy to find. It's a couple of parts about the Olympic basketball team this summer with LeBron, Durant, Steph Curry, Anthony Edwards, and it's fun. It's very contrived. I can't, as somebody who knows how hard it is to make a great documentary, and who's such a fan of great documentaries, it's so contrived because they have these mouthpieces in there and these sound bites from, the regular cast of characters, this person from ESPN, this, basketball analyst, Dwayne Wade, no disrespect to Dwayne Wade, and they're sort of pushing it forward and pushing the story forward. But it's really good when they show these verite moments. One of the best verite moments is in France. Obama went to visit the Olympic team, and there's an exchange with him, Joel Embiid, LeBron, Kevin Durant, and Anthony Edwards is literally talking to Barack Obama like he's a dude at 7-Eleven. He's talking to him like he's literally like, yeah, I told you I'm the truth. And he's not even playing, like he's just being himself. And I love that about Anthony Edwards. But I also, he's 23, man. What the fuck would I have said when I'm 23? Do your thing. I heard, allegedly, can't confirm or deny, but Anthony Edwards this summer had 4 girls pregnant. He either got 4 girls pregnant or he gave birth to 4 kids this summer. And my man, that ain't no stick man. You need to call up Dwight Howard. You need to call Evander Holyfield. You're going to be playing till you're 57. If you got 4 chicks pregnant in one summer, you need to get a vasectomy, my man. Anthony Edwards, you need to get a vasectomy. If you actually impregnated 4 girls in one summer, call Nick Cannon, Evander Holyfield, George Foreman, and ask him how that's working out financially. Or just take yourself to my guy, Dr. Sachs. There's a great doctor in Beverly Hills, Dr. Sachs. Go get yourself snipped. Because if you're 23 and you got 4 girls pregnant in one summer, you're out of control, my man. You're totally out of control. And you need to shut the water. You need to shut the pipes once and for all. You can always reverse it or put some of your sperm in a sperm bank and then shut the pipes. And if you want to have more kids, I don't know why you would want to have more kids. Who needs that many kids? There's already enough people on the plane. Haven't you been on the bus or the train? Or been to like Penn Station? Anthony Edwards? You know how many people there are in the world? We don't need that many more people, man. Crowded. You ever been to an Apple store, Target? It's elbow to elbow in there. You need to get your snipped, young man. Shut it down, Duke. You're out of control. Totally out of control. Yo, if this guy got 4 girls pregnant, you need to shut it down. Akshav, ASAP. Anyway, NBA is in sprint mode. I'm in sprint mode. I want you to make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend about the world's most disruptive podcast. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And Miles Jordan, a.k.a. the Bleach Brothers, a.k.a. the Dust Brothers, take me at it with something real nice. Take me at it with something real loud. But most importantly, take me out of here with something real funky. I am Rapaport Stereo Podcast. I'm out.
I am Rapaport Podcast.